As the leaves fall and the air turns crisp, there's an energy in November that whispers of hope and transformation. Have you ever felt that tug in your heart, a yearning for something greater? Picture this, a moment where your struggles meet divine intervention, where your prayers ignite a spark of change. What if I told you that a single prayer could shift your entire reality? Imagine standing at the crossroads of your life with blessings just waiting to pour into your spirit. What if today is the day that everything shifts for you? As we navigate this journey together, let's pause and reflect. What burdens are you carrying? What dreams have you tucked away, just out of reach? In this month of gratitude, we'll unlock the power of prayer, an ancient practice that has the potential to break chains and open doors. Are you ready to tap into that divine energy? Hold on to that thought. Let's journey into the heart of November's blessings, where every prayer can be a catalyst for breakthroughs. Stay with me, because the next few moments could change everything. Your transformation is just a prayer away. Chapter The importance of prayer in moments of challenge. You know, there are those times in life when everything feels like it's crumbling around you. It's during those moments that I've found prayer to be an invaluable tool. It's not just a ritual, it's a lifeline. When I'm facing challenges, whether they're big or small, I often turn to prayer as a way to seek strength and guidance. It's incredible how a few moments of quiet reflection can help me gather my thoughts and calm my racing heart. I've learned that in prayer, I can lay down my burdens and seek a higher perspective on my struggles. Prayer, in my experience, is also about opening myself up to divine guidance. I remember a particularly tough time when I was unsure about my next steps in life. I felt lost and overwhelmed, but through prayer, I felt a sense of clarity wash over me. It was as if I was being reassured that I wasn't alone in my battle. I began to see my situation through a different lens, and that shift in perspective was crucial. It's like finding a compass in the midst of a storm. Prayer helped me navigate through uncertainty. Moreover, prayer serves as a reminder of my own resilience. When I pray, I often reflect on past challenges I've faced and how I've overcome them. This practice strengthens my faith and reminds me that I have the tools to face new obstacles. Each prayer is like a small reinforcement of my spirit, helping me build a fortress of faith against the storms that come my way. It's empowering to recall those victories and to realize that I can draw upon that same strength again. I also find comfort in knowing that I'm connecting with something greater than myself. In moments of despair, I might feel isolated, but through prayer, I remember that I am part of a larger story. It's a humbling experience to acknowledge that I'm not the only one facing trials. Many have walked this path before, and through prayer, I can tap into that shared human experience. There's a camaraderie in prayer that makes me feel less alone. Lastly, I've discovered that prayer is not just about asking for things, it's also about listening. Sometimes, in the hustle of life, it's easy to forget that prayer is a two-way street. In those quiet moments of reflection, I've learned to be receptive to the guidance that comes. It's in that stillness that I often find the answers I seek or the peace I didn't know I needed. This dynamic of conversing with the divine has profoundly shaped my approach to challenges. The meaning of the month of November. As November rolls in, I can't help but reflect on its significance. In moments of despair, I might feel isolated, but through prayer, I remember that I am part of a larger story. It's a humbling experience to acknowledge that I'm not the only one facing trials. Many have walked this path before, and through prayer, I can tap into that shared human experience. There's a camaraderie in prayer that makes me feel less alone. Lastly, I've discovered that prayer is not just about asking for things, it's also about listening. Sometimes, in the hustle of life, it's easy to forget that prayer is a two-way street. In those quiet moments of reflection, I've learned to be receptive to the guidance that comes. It's in that stillness that I often find the answers I seek, or the peace I didn't know I needed. This dynamic of conversing with the divine has profoundly shaped my approach to challenges. The meaning of the month of November. As November rolls in, I can't help but reflect on its significance. This month has always felt like a time of gratitude and renewal to me. With Thanksgiving approaching, it's a reminder to pause and appreciate the blessings in my life. I think it's essential to cultivate an attitude of gratitude, especially as the year draws to a close. It's a time to look back and recognize the growth and learning that has occurred, despite the ups and downs of life. In the context of my faith, November symbolizes a period of reflection. It's a moment to reconnect with what truly matters. I often find myself taking inventory of my spiritual journey during this month. What have I learned? How have I grown? What can I do differently moving forward? This practice of reflection helps me align my intentions for the coming months and prepares my heart for renewal. It's like a spiritual reset button that allows me to shed what no longer serves me. Moreover, November serves as a reminder of the importance of community. As families gather for Thanksgiving, I'm reminded of the value of shared experiences and connections. There's something powerful about coming together with loved ones to express gratitude. These moments reinforce the bonds we share and create lasting memories. I find that being part of a community that values gratitude enhances my own appreciation for life. As I think about renewal, I also consider the changes that come with the transition into winter. November is a bridge between the vibrant colors of autumn and the quiet stillness of winter. It's a time when nature prepares for rest, and I think that reflects what we can learn about ourselves. Just as trees shed their leaves to prepare for a new season, we too can release what no longer serves us. Embracing this cyclical nature of life allows me to find peace in letting go. Finally, November reminds me that gratitude is not just a one-time event, but a daily practice. As I cultivate gratitude in my life, I notice a shift in my perspective. Challenges become opportunities for growth, and mundane moments turn into cherished memories. This month serves as a gentle nudge to keep gratitude at the forefront of my thoughts and actions, not just during Thanksgiving, but throughout the year. Powerful blessing prayer. When it comes to prayer, I've learned that there's a certain structure that makes my prayers more effective. A powerful blessing prayer often starts with gratitude. I find it essential to acknowledge the blessings I already have before asking for more. It sets a positive tone and opens my heart to receive even greater blessings. Expressing gratitude in prayer reminds me of the abundance in my life, and it aligns my spirit with the energy of thankfulness. Next, I focus on clarity. When I pray for blessings, I try to be specific about what I'm asking for. Instead of a vague request, I articulate my desires clearly. It could be for guidance in a specific area of my life or a blessing for someone I care about. This clarity helps me direct my intentions and makes it easier for me to recognize the blessings when they come. I've found that specificity in prayer can lead to more profound experiences of faith and realization. Another crucial element is faith. I've come to understand that faith is the driving force behind my prayers. When I pray for blessings, I do so with the conviction that I will receive them. I visualize the outcome I desire and trust that the universe, or God, is already working on my behalf. This unwavering faith transforms my prayers from mere words into powerful declarations. It's about believing that what I ask for is not only possible, but is already on its way to me. Alongside faith, I incorporate a spirit of surrender. It's essential to recognize that, while I have my desires, the ultimate plan may be different from what I envision. In my prayers, I express my willingness to accept whatever comes, whether it aligns with my requests or not. This surrender creates a sense of peace and trust in the process, knowing that I am not in control of everything. It's a beautiful release that opens me up to unexpected blessings. Lastly, I conclude my prayers with a sense of commitment. After asking for blessings, I remind myself to take action in alignment with my prayers. It's one thing to ask for help, but it's another to actively seek opportunities to receive those blessings. This commitment to action reinforces my faith and shows that I am ready and willing to embrace the changes that come my way. It's a powerful reminder that prayer is just the beginning of a journey that requires my involvement. Faith and expectation. Faith and expectation go hand in hand in my spiritual journey. When I talk about faith, I'm referring to that unwavering belief in the promises of God. It's a deep-seated assurance that what I hope for will come to fruition, even if I can't see it yet. I've learned that having faith during challenging times is like holding onto a lifeline. It gives me the courage to keep moving forward, despite the uncertainty that surrounds me. Expectation, on the other hand, is the active component of faith. It's not enough for me to simply believe. I must also expect that my prayers and efforts will yield results. I remember a time when I was praying for a new opportunity in my career. I not only prayed for guidance, but also began to put myself out there, updating my resume, networking, and seeking advice. My expectation fueled my actions and opened doors I couldn't have imagined. It's a beautiful dance between faith and expectation that has led to incredible breakthroughs. There have been moments when my faith was tested and I felt like giving up. During those times, I remind myself of past experiences where I witnessed the power of faith and expectation in my life. Those memories serve as a reminder that challenges are often the precursor to growth and transformation. I've learned to lean into those moments, knowing that they can lead me to something greater if I maintain my faith and keep my expectations high. I also recognize that faith and expectation require patience. Just because I'm expecting blessings doesn't mean they will come immediately. There have been times when I had to wait longer than I anticipated, and that waiting period was often filled with doubt. However, I've learned that patience is a virtue that strengthens my faith. It's during those waiting moments that I have the opportunity to deepen my trust and refine my character. Ultimately, embracing both faith and expectation has transformed my outlook on life. Instead of viewing challenges as insurmountable obstacles, I see them as opportunities for growth. With each challenge I face, I remind myself to hold on to my faith and expect the best. This mindset not only brings me peace, but also empowers me to take bold steps forward, trusting that the universe has my back. Testimonies of breakthroughs. Have you ever heard stories that just make your heart swell with hope? I can't help but share some incredible testimonies of breakthroughs that have come about through prayer and a sincere pursuit of blessings. There's something profoundly uplifting about hearing how someone faced insurmountable challenges and, through prayer, found a way to the other side. One friend of mine was struggling with a job loss, feeling utterly defeated and unsure of what the future held. After committing to daily prayers and seeking divine intervention, he received a job offer that was not only better than what he had, but also aligned perfectly with his passions and skills. It was as if the heavens opened up just for him. Another powerful story involves a woman in my community who was grappling with a serious illness. It seemed like every avenue had been explored, every treatment had been attempted, and hope was dwindling. But one day, she gathered her friends and family, and they prayed together with such fervor and unity that it felt electric. Miraculously, her condition began to improve. The doctors were baffled, but she knew it was the result of collective faith and the power of prayer. The transformation in her health was not just physical. It reignited her spirit and her sense of purpose. Then there's the story of a couple who had been trying to conceive for years without success. They felt hopeless, burdened by the weight of their unmet desires. After diving deep into prayer and invoking blessings, they not only grew closer to each other, but began to feel a peace that surpassed their understanding. Months later, they received the news they had been longing for. They were expecting a child. Their story is a testament to the fact that sometimes the most profound breakthroughs come when we least expect them, and often they follow a season of intense prayer. These testimonies serve as reminders that the act of prayer is not just a ritual, but a lifeline. It connects us to something greater than ourselves and opens the door for divine interventions we might have thought impossible. When I hear these stories, I can't help but feel a surge of faith myself. They remind me that no matter how dark the situation may seem, there is always room for light and transformation. In sharing these experiences, we inspire one another. Each story of breakthrough acts as a beacon of hope that encourages others still waiting for their own miracles. It's crucial to remember that breakthroughs don't always look the way we expect. Sometimes they are subtle shifts in our mindset or circumstances that lead us to new paths we never considered. Daily prayer practices. Integrating powerful prayers into our daily routines can feel daunting, but it doesn't have to be. The key is consistency and sincerity. Personally, I've found that starting each day with a moment of prayer sets the tone for everything that follows. It doesn't have to be lengthy or overly formal. A few heartfelt words expressing gratitude and asking for guidance can work wonders. I often take a moment in the morning to reflect on what I'm thankful for and what I hope to achieve that day, inviting blessings into my life in the process. Journaling is another practice that can enhance daily prayer. Writing down your prayers can help clarify your thoughts and intentions. I like to jot down specific requests alongside my blessings. When I look back at my journal weeks or months later, I am often amazed at how many of those prayers have been answered. This practice not only strengthens my faith, but also fosters a sense of accountability and awareness regarding my spiritual journey. Another effective method is to set reminders throughout the day. Whether it's a note on my phone or a sticky note on my desk, having visual cues can prompt me to pause and pray. This simple act of taking a few moments to focus my mind on prayer, even in the midst of a busy day, serves as a grounding experience. It's like pressing a reset button that brings me back to what truly matters. Incorporating prayer into family time can also be a beautiful practice. Whether it's sharing a meal or winding down for the night, taking a moment to pray together can strengthen bonds and create a shared sense of purpose. I've found that when we pray as a family, it opens up conversations about our hopes, fears, and dreams, reinforcing our commitment to support one another. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of community prayer. Attending prayer meetings or joining a small group can amplify the effects of our individual prayers. There's something incredibly powerful about coming together in faith, lifting each other's burdens, and asking for blessings collectively. The energy and faith that radiate from such gatherings can truly transform lives in ways we might not fully understand. The power of community in prayer. There's a unique strength that comes from uniting with others in prayer. I have experienced firsthand how community prayer can amplify individual blessings. When we gather in a group, our collective faith seems to create a kind of spiritual momentum that propels us forward. Just last month, I attended a prayer circle where everyone shared their struggles and triumphs. The atmosphere was charged with hope and faith, and I left feeling invigorated and inspired. It's a reminder that we are not alone in our journeys. Community prayer also fosters accountability. When you're part of a group, you share not only your prayer requests, but also updates on how things are progressing. This shared journey creates a sense of ownership and responsibility towards one another. I've found that when I'm accountable to a group, I'm more likely to maintain my own prayer practices and stay focused on my spiritual goals. Moreover, there's an undeniable sense of belonging that comes with being part of a prayer community. It creates a safe space where we can express our fears and uncertainties without judgment. This vulnerability can lead to healing as we feel supported by those around us. I've seen friendships blossom in these settings as people come together with a shared purpose, lifting each other up in prayer and encouragement. The unity in community prayer can also lead to remarkable outcomes. I remember a particular instance when our church held a prayer vigil for a member going through a tough time. The turnout was overwhelming, with people from all walks of life coming together to pray. The energy in the room was palpable, and I truly believe that our collective prayers played a significant role in that person's recovery. It's moments like these that remind us of the profound impact of community in our spiritual lives. Finally, participating in a prayer community can deepen our understanding of faith. Listening to others share their experiences and insights can broaden our perspectives and enrich our prayer lives. We often learn new ways to approach prayer and discover different aspects of our faith that we hadn't considered before. It's a dynamic exchange that nourishes our spiritual growth and strengthens our connection to one another and to God. Reflection and action. Prayer is a crucial part of our spiritual journey, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. It's essential to recognize that prayer must be coupled with action. I've often found myself in situations where I prayed fervently for guidance, only to hesitate when it came time to act. It's a common struggle, but I've learned that taking steps in faith is just as important as the prayers we utter. One thing that has helped me is to seek clarity in my prayers about what actions I should take. Instead of merely asking for blessings, I now include requests for direction and courage. For example, when I was contemplating a career change, I prayed not just for a new opportunity, but also for the courage to take the necessary steps to pursue it. This shift in focus has made my prayer life feel much more dynamic and engaging. Another important aspect is to remain open to the answers that come, even if they aren't what we expected. Sometimes we pray for something specific and receive guidance that leads us in an entirely different direction. It's crucial to trust the process and have the faith to follow through on what feels right, even if it challenges our preconceived notions. I recall a time when I was praying for a promotion, only to realize that it wasn't the right fit for me. Instead, what unfolded was an opportunity to mentor others, which brought me immense fulfillment. Moreover, reflecting on our prayers and the actions we take can provide invaluable insights. After a season of prayer, I've made it a practice to evaluate what steps I took and how I felt about them. Did I act in faith? Did I trust the process? This reflection allows me to adjust my approach and grow in my spiritual journey, learning to better align my actions with my prayers. Lastly, it's essential to remember that our actions don't have to be monumental. Sometimes, small steps can lead to significant changes. Whether it's reaching out to someone in need, volunteering, or simply being kind to those around us, these actions can create ripples of change that align with our prayers for blessings. Every step taken in faith is a step towards realizing our prayers, making our spiritual journey a collaborative effort between our hearts and actions. Reflection and action. There's a saying that you can't just sit back and wait for things to happen. You've got to get up and make them happen. I think that's especially true when it comes to our spiritual lives. Prayer is a powerful tool, no doubt about it, but it's just one part of the equation. It's like having a map without ever getting in the car. You may know where you want to go, but if you don't take the steps to get there, you're not going to move an inch. That's where the idea of reflection and action comes into play. When I pray, I often find myself in a dialogue with God, sharing my hopes, fears, and dreams. But I've learned that listening is just as vital as speaking. During these moments of prayer, thoughts and impressions come to me that I believe are divine guidance. It's easy to get caught up in the act of praying and forget that we should also be paying attention to the answers. Sometimes the answer isn't just a comforting feeling, it's a nudge to take a specific action. Reflecting on those impressions is crucial. It's like God is saying, "I've given you the direction. Now it's time to move." Taking action after prayer can feel daunting. I remember a time when I was praying for a new job. I was desperate for change, yet I found myself stuck in the comfort of my routine. I prayed earnestly, seeking guidance and clarity. But I realized that I wasn't actively looking for opportunities. Reflection led me to a simple yet profound conclusion. I needed to update my resume and start networking. It wasn't enough to wait for a job to fall into my lap. I had to put in the work. I think that's a common struggle for many people. We often pray for breakthroughs while remaining passive, hoping that things will change without any effort on our part. But faith isn't just about belief, it's about action. It's about stepping out into the unknown, trusting that God will guide us along the way. When I finally took that leap and started applying for jobs, I felt a sense of liberation. My prayers became more than just words. They transformed into a proactive approach to life. In a way, reflection and action are two sides of the same coin. When we take the time to reflect on what we've prayed about, we start to see where we need to act. And when we act, we often find that our faith deepens. It's a cycle of growth and transformation. Each step we take in faith not only brings us closer to our goals, but also strengthens our relationship with God. It's a beautiful dance between the divine and the human, where each partner plays an essential role. Reflecting on the lessons from prayer and then taking action is not merely about achieving personal goals. It's about aligning ourselves with a greater purpose. Each time we act in faith, we become instruments of change, not just in our own lives, but in the lives of those around us. The world is a challenging place, and many people are waiting for someone to step up and make a difference. When we take inspired action, we can be that beacon of light for others, showing them that faith can lead to real, tangible change. So, as I continue on my journey of faith, I keep this principle close to my heart. Prayer leads to reflection, and reflection leads to action. It's a cycle that fuels my spiritual growth and encourages me to step boldly into the life that God has in store for me. And I believe that if we all take this approach, we can create a ripple effect of positive change in our communities and beyond. As we wrap up this powerful November blessing prayer, I invite you to take a moment and reflect on what you truly desire in your life. What breakthroughs are you seeking? Picture them vividly in your mind. Can you see the doors of opportunity opening for you? Remember, God is always at work behind the scenes, orchestrating your blessings in ways you might not even realize. Now, as you embrace this prayer daily, ask yourself, how can I align my actions with my faith? What steps can I take today to invite those blessings into my life? It's not just about waiting. It's about actively participating in God's plan for you. And don't forget, share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. What miracles have you witnessed lately? Your story could inspire someone else on their journey. Stay tuned, because in our next video, we'll dive deeper into the stories of those who faced immense challenges, yet emerged victorious through faith. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Until next time, keep praying, keep believing, and remember, your breakthrough is just around the corner. Let's walk this path together, hand in hand with faith.